Who was that young man who, at just 17 years of age, stood across the sea against a cruel empire? Who was that commander who preferred justice before the sword and mercy after victory? This is not a legend. This is a radiant chapter of Islamic history. This is the story of Muhammad bin Qasim, the young general who laid the foundation of Islam in the Indian subcontinent. This is the story of the extraordinary rise of Muhammad bin Qasim, an intelligent, brave, and principled young man who became a military commander of the Islamic Caliphate at a very young age. This narrative tells us how the cries of oppressed Muslim women and children transformed a quiet youth into a warrior who changed the course of history. It is the story of the conquest of Sindh, the defeat of Raja Dahir, and the establishment of a system of justice and fairness afterward. In the end, this story teaches us timeless lessons of leadership, justice, mercy, and responsibility. Muhammad bin Qasim was born in 695 CE in Taif, into the respected tribe of Thaqif. He was an exceptionally intelligent, serious, and knowledge-loving young man. From an early age, he mastered the Quran, Hadith, Islamic jurisprudence, and military strategy. His uncle, Hajjaj bin Yusuf, the influential governor of the Umayyad Caliphate, was fully aware of Muhammad bin Qasim's remarkable abilities. Because of these extraordinary qualities, Muhammad bin Qasim was appointed commander of a great army at only 17 years of age. At the time, Sindh was ruled by Raja Dahir, a Brahmin king whose rule was marked by political instability, social injustice, and weak control over coastal regions. The Arabian Sea routes near Sindh had become unsafe due to sea pirates who regularly attacked merchant ships. These pirates targeted Muslim traders traveling between the Muslim world and South Asia. Historical records indicate that these pirates operated with the indirect support or tolerance of Raja Dahir, who failed to restrain them or punish their crimes. The situation reached a breaking point when ships carrying Muslim merchants, including women and children, returning from Sri Lanka, Ceylon, were attacked near the Sindh coast. The passengers were looted and taken captive. When Hajjaj bin Yusuf formally demanded Raja Dahir to punish the pirates, release the Muslim captives, return the stolen wealth, Raja Dahir refused, claiming that he had no control over the pirates, a response widely seen as an excuse rather than the truth. From captivity arose a cry that would echo through history. "O Hajjaj, save us!" This plea traveled from the shores of Sindh to the centers of the Islamic world and stirred the conscience of the Caliphate. Hajjaj bin Yusuf was one of the most powerful and disciplined administrators of the Umayyad Caliphate. As the governor of Iraq and the eastern provinces, he was known for his strict governance, strong military organization, and unwavering loyalty to the Islamic State. Though often remembered for his firmness, Hajjaj deeply believed in order, justice, and the protection of Muslim lives and trade routes. He was a sharp judge of talent and recognized Muhammad bin Qasim's intelligence, discipline, and leadership potential at a remarkably young age. When the cries of oppressed Muslim women and children reached him from the shores of Sindh, Hajjaj did not see it merely as a political issue, but as a moral and religious responsibility. His decision to send Muhammad bin Qasim was not driven by ambition alone, but by the obligation of the Islamic State to defend the oppressed and uphold justice beyond its borders. At the time of Muhammad bin Qasim's expedition, the Umayyad Caliphate stood as one of the world's greatest powers, stretching from North Africa to Central Asia. Under Caliph Walid bin Abdul Malik, the Caliphate experienced political stability, administrative strength, and unprecedented territorial expansion. However, this expansion was not solely about land or wealth. It was guided by a governing philosophy that emphasized justice, security, and religious coexistence. The Caliphate considered the safety of Muslim traders, pilgrims, and civilians a state responsibility, regardless of distance. Trade routes across land and sea connected the Muslim world with India and beyond, making the protection of these routes essential. The expedition to Sindh was therefore not an act of aggression, but a response rooted in law, accountability, and the duty of the Islamic State to respond when oppression went unanswered. One day, Hajjaj bin Yusuf, the governor of Iraq, received heartbreaking news. Ships of Muslim traders coming from Sri Lanka, Ceylon, carrying Muslim women and children, were looted by pirates near the coast of Sindh. These pirates operated under the influence of Raja Dahir. When Hajjaj bin Yusuf demanded that Raja Dahir release the Muslim captives and return the stolen wealth, Raja Dahir refused. The cry of a captive Muslim woman became immortal in history. "O Hajjaj, save us!" This cry echoed from Medina to Damascus. With the permission of the Umayyad Caliph Walid bin Abdul Malik, Hajjaj bin Yusuf decided that the time had come to raise the sword against oppression. Muhammad bin Qasim was given clear orders. Go to the land of Sindh, free the oppressed Muslims, and if resistance occurs, eliminate injustice. Muhammad bin Qasim set out with a disciplined and principled army, equipped with advanced war machinery, catapults, and a clear message of Islamic ethics. The campaign began with Dibal, a fortified port city that served as a stronghold for pirates and a symbol of oppression. Dibal was both a military and economic center, making it a strategic priority. After laying siege and using carefully planned tactics, Muhammad bin Qasim captured Dibal. Instead of chaos and revenge, he issued a historic proclamation. Those who sought peace would be granted peace. Those who accepted Islam would be treated as brothers. Those who followed other religions would be guaranteed full religious freedom. He ordered the protection of civilians, places of worship, and property, a stark contrast to the norms of conquest in that era. From Dibal, Muhammad bin Qasim advanced deeper into Sindh, city by city. Many towns surrendered peacefully after witnessing his justice and discipline. Local populations, long oppressed by heavy taxation and discrimination, saw in him a liberator rather than a conqueror. The decisive confrontation came against Raja Dahir near the banks of the Indus River. Raja Dahir assembled his forces, including war elephants, and resisted fiercely. In a decisive battle marked by strategic brilliance and discipline, Muhammad bin Qasim's forces overcame Dahir's army. Raja Dahir was defeated and killed, bringing an end to his rule. With this victory, centuries of injustice, piracy, and oppression in Sindh came to an end. After victory, Muhammad bin Qasim took steps that proved he was not merely a conqueror, but a just ruler. He freed oppressed women and children, returned stolen wealth to its rightful owners, granted religious freedom to non-Muslims, protected temples and places of worship, appointed locals to government positions, implemented a justice-based Islamic system, reduced taxes and ensured fairness. Thousands of people embraced Islam due to his noble conduct. Due to political conspiracies, Muhammad bin Qasim was recalled. The young commander who had brought justice to an entire region was imprisoned and passed away at a very young age. Yet his character, his justice, and his conquest remain alive in history. The life of Muhammad bin Qasim teaches us: 1. Leadership is shaped by character, not age. 2. The cry of the oppressed holds immense power before Allah. 3. Islam teaches justice and morality before the sword. 4. True greatness lies in mercy after victory. 5. Justice-based governance conquers hearts. Allah Almighty says, "And we intended to grant favor to those who were oppressed in the land." Surah Al-Qasis 28:5. Like, share and subscribe for more such videos.